Hi, my name is Annie Kramer, and I am reading the quotations now. In this iconic Michael Jackson song, he talks about finding a way to change his ways. Man in the Mirror. This is such an iconic song of his, especially in the chorus. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Oh, come on now. That is so cute. And obviously, it's speaking truth. Although it's one of many cliches, in order to actually make change, you have to go out there and do so. Which is why the quotation, people in the streets are not waiting for anyone to come and take the lead. They are the leaders of the revolution. Fateman Shame, Iranian poet and activist, is true. In order to actually make the change, you have to go out there and get the work done yourself. And we can examine this through the failures and through the dirty work put out there. All right, let's face it. In order to make change, there's going to be failure after failure after failure. However, there will be success for you once you keep pushing at the bit, once you keep biting the bullet. And we can examine this through the actor Brendan Fraser and the activist Greta Thunberg. Brendan Fraser has been making quite the comeback these days, with him in The Whale and him in the past few years settling in with Doom Patrol, but nowadays with The Whale coming out, he is on top of the world. However, previously he ended up quitting Hollywood after being blacklisted after being assaulted by the head of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. After doing so, he went out of Hollywood for a while and no one wanted to even touch his name, and this could be considered a failure for him. But nowadays, no one wants to stop talking about them. Quite hypocritical, if you ask me. However, he kept pushing on and persevering, and even though he had this kind of failure, now no one doesn't want him. And he didn't even go to the Golden Globes because he didn't want to be a hypocrite, as his mother said, and go support something that didn't support him. So he's making change in a bit, talking about his assault accusation and how he was able to push through all of this. Moving on to Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg in the early until late 2010s was making quite change with climate change. And let's face it, for a while many people were not a fan of hers and still are not these days. Once she got started in her activism, people were hesitant to support this young girl. However, after she was able to keep on pushing and advocating, she's one of the biggest leaders in the climate change cause this day. She even got Andrew Tate arrested. So you know what? That's someone in my book, if I do say so myself. So through Greta Thunberg and Brendan Fraser having their failures in the beginning but now succeeding, we can examine how by pushing out there and making that change, you were able to do so. Moving on through putting through the dirty work. We can examine that. Yes, there's going to be failures, but in order to persevere, you have to put in that dirty work and push on. We can examine this through Aubrey Plaza and through all the women fighting in Iran. Aubrey Plaza is an iconic name nowadays. However, just after she hosted SNL, she discussed how she used to work at NBC as a page, and it was not great work for her, and she did what she could. But by doing this, she was able to grow a name for herself, and now she's, again, one of the most iconic actresses of this day, as well as a big supporter and activist for the LGBTQ plus community. So she's making a name for herself as well as making change after all she's put herself through. Now, through this a poet who herself is Iranian, these women are out there fighting for their lives in this day and age, and it's a lot for them actually to be put themselves on the news. However, some of these women are pushing through and cutting their hair and doing things that could get them arrested and killed, but they're pushing on. They're putting in that dirty work that could harm them in the end. However, they're doing so anyways to persevere. So you can examine through the women fighting for their lives in Aubrey Plaza how putting in the dirty work and pushing through can get you to make change, even if it does seem cumbersome. So in conclusion, through putting in that dirty work and through having your failures, it is true that you can make change. And the quotation, "People in the streets are not waiting for anyone to come and take the lead. They are the leaders of the revolution," by Fatma Shams, Iranian poet and activist, is an accurate quotation. Let's face it, it's difficult in this day and age to seem like you can make a difference, especially with so many people in the art world and so many people out there fighting for their lives. But there is always someone who is willing to listen. And for those who are willing to listen, they want to help inspire change. So in one way or another, change will be made no matter how you do so. So if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Cheesy, right? But it's true. You've got to learn how to make that change for yourself. And by doing so, you can succeed. So just fake it till you make it, and you'll find a way to persevere.